full moon. It's a super moon. It's the last super moon of the year. It's a super moon in Taurus with the sun in Scorpio. So we're at the end of the that sun in Scorpio energy. So it'll be shifting into Sagittarius about a week or so. I don't have the exact date. That's one thing I didn't look up. But there's so much going on that please forgive me for like not dotting every I and crossing every T, but I try really hard to. It's just so much, and I'm excited to share it with you. And sometimes I do catch myself getting over enthusiastic, and I don't want that to be overtaking the message of what's going through. So I'm going to take a deep breath, and maybe if you'd like to join me, I always put my hands over my heart, connecting to this energy center, and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just another one to go. And relax. Relax. It is almost the end of 2024. So much happened this year, both collectively and individually, that I have observed with myself, with my family, with my friends, with my clients. It's been a lot. And I see with all of the different audiences that I engage with, there's a thread of similarity. So that's how I know that this is no joke. And it's really helpful and useful. So I want to get to the pieces that are helpful and useful, so you have like your easy takeaways. Okay. So first thing is the full moon, super moon in Taurus. So Scorpio in the sun, and its opposite Taurus in the moon. So Scorpio's water element. It is fixed, so it's stubborn. What else could I say? I write things down, and its energy is I desire. All right. So it's very powerful and very mystical, and it's kind of like intense. I'm like trying to find the right words. It is intense, and I have some things scribbled, and I'm like, not that word, not that word. But there's an intensity to Scorpio, because its goal, and I've talked about this before, is to transform us, right? From going from pit to peak, right? It wants us to evolve, to elevate to get us to the highest, best version of ourselves that is available to us. And that practice of avoidance does not serve us. So Scorpio kind of kicks our butt a little bit, or maybe makes us feel certain things, because water is all about feeling, right? Emotion is energy. Can you feel that? And sometimes it's dark. Sometimes it's chaotic. Sometimes Scorpio focuses on the stuff that we don't want to feel, so we distract ourselves and we try to ignore it as much as possible. I've been guilty of it. Procrastination is another form of it, and Scorpio does not let us get away with it. So on the opposite side of that is Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. It is also fixed, and I'm getting that it's fixed so we stay on course. That's really the goal right here, is to stay on course of our transformation. But it makes it easier for us. It is more about the pleasures of life. It is more about the beauty of life. And all right, so it's also about having So going from desiring to having, you see how the opposites can work together, right? Kind of shifting the energy. So the full moon and the effects of this full moon is going to last for the next, excuse me, the next 6 months until it reverses and the full moon is in Scorpio, right? And the sun is in Taurus. So we have this kind of, I'm going to just say homework to get us to that next level. And these planets and how they kind of dance with each other is all to help us with our journey, our transitions, like our transitions. As they transition, we feel the effects of it, and it's always opening the doors and giving us opportunities for our own transitions. Okay, so we have that. Oh, I did want to, yeah, I'll point it out. I also do tarot cards, and the suit of pentacles, money, coins, is the earth element. And there's a lot to do with money. Scorpio does as well, but it's opposite sides of it. So Scorpio is more about the heaviness of money, like the responsibility of money, the paying taxes, paying your bills, having expenses, right? So there's that heaviness of, I need to pay this back or I'll get in trouble. And Taurus is more playful, right? It's the second sign, so it's more about playing with money. Like we like throwing coins up in the air and having fun with it and not really concerned about the responsibility of it. So it kind of balances out a little bit. And it could be just a little symbolic gesture you can give to yourself, like taking care of all of your expenses and then maybe going out for a small treat for yourself, whatever that is. I just got ice cream, but even though it's not the weather for ice cream, but that's the energy that we're in. So there's a lot with money as well. So I wanted to sneak that in there. And then I'll go into the 11/11 portal. So that's November 11th. So it's 11/11. Whenever you see repeating signs, there is a portal or like energy coming through. And it could be good or bad. It's like it's neutral, but it's like you want to open yourself up to the presence of it. And this one is really beautiful. The way the chart is, there's I'm not going to go into it deeply, but there is a presence of grace. So I am kind of swimming in that and choosing, that day to be mindful. It's also Veterans Day. So having gratitude for people who have, been in service for country, for us. So having a space for that. My dad fought in the Korean War. My sister, she wasn't in war, but she did do some work in Bosnia. So that was in the 90s. So I kind of like honor them since neither of them are here right now, that I honor them on that day too. And I also feel like, opening up more grace for everybody. So then we have Mercury retrograde happening. Again, we're actually in the pre-shadow of it right now. That started November 7th. So it's kind of like gearing up to slow down. And that will happen November 25th through December 15th. Yes. And the post-shadow lasts until January 2nd. So this Mercury retrograde is happening pretty much as we're closing the books on 2024. If you're not familiar with retrograde, It's when the planet slows down so much that it appears to going backwards. And then once it goes direct, then everything kind of goes back to normal. But we get affected when we have that slowed down energy of a planet, and Mercury retrograde, because it's one of the closer planets, it affects us the most. Mercury is the energy of communication. So if things get wonky, sometimes we'll get into disagreements, arguments more quickly. Sometimes phones don't work, computers don't work, like we get glitches, you'll get page not found. That happened to me. That happened to me the other day. It was the 8th. Was it the 8th? Oh no. Yeah, it was right around there. And I'm like, oh, it's happening already, So it's not a bad thing, and it's not to be used as an excuse, but rather, when it's retro, we go back, right? So we go back and rewind, review. I'm reviewing a lot of my work for this year, and what have I created, and how can I make it better? Like, what have I learned that can actually expand the content that I have, and these different files and offerings that I have. So always, trying to raise the bar on ourselves a little bit. So that is where we're at for the most part. If you want to share your takeaway in the comments, I would love to hear it. And yeah, let me know how this is valuable to you. And I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. I am expanding my library here as well, with coaching, with some yoga sequences that will be helpful, even like to center, to calm us down, or even like to kind of wake us up and give us some vitality. So that's where I'll leave it. And again, always here to listen to you. Book a free call with me if you just want to, get on a Zoom call and, just work out whatever you're moving through and how I may be of service to you. Namaste.